Hey everybody, it's Jen. I'm going to show you how I make my grilled mixed veggie bowl, which is something I like to take to lunch. And it uses a lot of veggies. The veggies themselves aren't grilled, but there is meat in it. Though there doesn't have to be. You could use grilled veggies instead of the meat. I use the meat and I use fresh veggies, and I use some sort of a yellow grain in there. Sometimes it's bulgur wheat, sometimes it's quinoa. So the first thing I do is I prepare the veggies. So you can see I have cut down the peppers, I've taken the ends off the cucumbers, and now I'm going to cut them into small bite-sized chunks. So the first thing I did was to chop up all the veggies, and I've got my cucumbers, yellow peppers, and orange peppers all chopped up into bite-sized chunks, and I'm just going to mix those together in a storage container. Alright, so check that out. They're all mixed up in there. I mean, look at that. That's already just a big bowl of happy. But that's going to be the veggies that I'll take out of each day as I'm preparing my lunch. So that will go in the fridge and stay there, and I'll use it as I need it. Next thing I'm going to show you is assembling a lunch meal from this, and the sausage I've already cooked up, and I also have some quinoa that I've cooked up, so I'm going to assemble. So I just finished cooking some quinoa, and I had tricolor quinoa, and you can see the steam coming off of it. It's still really hot. So I'm going to let that cool for a minute, and I'm going to cut up my sausages. Alright, so I'm ready for assembly. I've got two bowls here because I'm going to put the cold ingredients in one bowl, and then I'm going to put the things that I have to microwave for just a minute in this other bowl. And then tomorrow I will just combine the two when I'm ready to eat. I've also got my containers. This meal is going to have a green, actually sometimes I do it with two greens, a red and a yellow. I'm also going to use my teaspoons. My teaspoons are going to be from this roasted red pepper pesto that I have. I have my yellow, which is going to be my tricolor quinoa. The red is going to be this turkey sausage, and then the greens are going to be the peppers and cucumbers, which you saw me chop up earlier, and I've got my baby spinach here. So I'm going to start by putting the spinach and the peppers and cucumbers into my cold bowl here, and I will show you the green containers going in there in just a minute. Alright, so here's one green container, and I could squish it down and put the lid on it. So one green container, and in there I've got some spinach and just a little bit of the peppers and cucumbers. I'm going to pour that in, get the spinach out there, there it is. And that's really not enough of the peppers and cucumbers for me, so I'm going to add another green container of the peppers and cucumbers. So this will end up being two greens. Alright, so here we go with the second one, and I'm just going to pour that in, get everything out. So I've got two green containers in here right now of peppers, cucumbers, and spinach. And then to that I'm going to add one of the sausages here. And each of these sausages, they're chicken sausage, and these actually have red peppers and spinach in them. So each of these sausages, I've cut them up before and measured them. Each of them is going to be a red container, so I will show you that in a minute. Alright, so I've got my sausage cut up in my red container, and that's going in there too. Now, you could put the sausage in the warm container. I happen to not do that, just because the only thing I'm going to put in the warm container is the quinoa and the roasted red pepper pesto, and I'm going to put those two together in the warm container, and when I microwave that, the pesto kind of melts into the quinoa, and then I put it on top of the sausages here, and it's enough warmth with that, enough heat that it sort of warms the sausage, it'll wilt the spinach and so forth. And that just reminded me, sometimes I will also add a blue container to this and add some goat cheese. Or you could add whatever kind of cheese you like, but I usually use goat cheese. So actually I think I'm going to get that out and put some of that in here too. And so I'll put the goat cheese in the cold container, and again, when I heat up that quinoa and pour it over the top, it'll kind of help to melt that and wilt the spinach. So I'll get that ready. Okay, so you can see I've got my goat cheese in the blue container, I've got my quinoa in the yellow. The quinoa is going to go in this separate container because that'll be the one I heat up with the pesto. And the goat cheese is going to go over with the other cold ingredients in this container. So I'm going to pour both of those in, and I'm also going to add the pesto into this container with the quinoa. Alright, so we've got the final product. We've got this bowl of the cold ingredients, And that one has the vegetables, the spinach and the peppers and cucumbers. It's also got the red container of the sausage. It was chicken sausage with spinach and roasted red peppers in it, like a sweet Italian chicken sausage. And then also the blue container of the goat cheese. And that's actually a lot of goat cheese. I don't know if I would need actually the full blue container, but it's in there. And then in this container, we've got the quinoa. So this container has the quinoa and then the 2 teaspoons of the roasted red pepper pesto. And that one I'm going to heat up. And when I heat it up, it's only about 45 seconds or so in the microwave. And that will, the pesto will kind of melt through. I'll stir it in, and then it will get poured over the top of this one and mixed together, kind of heat and wilt and mix everything up. The idea for this came actually from a local cafe at a grocery store. Some of my friends that I work with and I had to go, we had a day of meetings and then we went out for lunch. And so we decided to go to this cafe at the local grocery, and they make these sorts of bowls there. So I had never had it before. My friend suggested it and I loved it. And actually I came home that same week and decided I was going to try and figure out how I could make it at home and what it would use and all of that. And it's been really successful and delicious. And I have this lunch several times a week. I mean, I could actually eat it every day, but I don't. But probably 2 or 3 times a week I have this. So prepping all of the veggies today and cooking the sausages and quinoa makes it really easy that I can just assemble it into the bowls the night before, put it in the fridge, and then in the morning I just pop it in my lunchbox and I'm ready to go. So I hope you give it a try. It's really a great recipe. Like I said, you can use any kind of meat in there. I've done it with steak before. I've done it with pork. I've done it with chicken. And for the grains, I've used bulgur wheat before. I've used buckwheat. I've used brown rice. Today I had quinoa, so I used that. So it's really rather versatile and flexible, and you can use whatever you want. So I hope you give it a try. I think it's delicious. If you like this video, give it a like down below. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and I will try to bring you some more recipes, all right? And if you're interested in having me as a coach, please contact me through my website, and I will get back in touch with you. Have a great day, guys.